I had an amazing talk with Kate in Paradise last night. And just talking to her helped unwind everything that just felt balled up inside of me like a ball of yarn. Like all the strands of yarn were able to slowly be unraveled. And afterwards, everything kind of clicked into place for me. I had been struggling with this intense attraction towards a coworker, and I realized what made it such a struggle was the resistance of what was happening and all these stories around it. For example, I feel so strongly about this person, therefore they must be the soulmate that I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with, and then therefore I need them in my life for me to be happy, and that's not happening. So how do I make that happen? And creating stress around that. And then the opposite of that, I shouldn't feel attracted to this person for various reasons. And really all these excuses about why I should be resisting or why this shouldn't be happening. And that resistance is what created a lot of the suffering around it, what made it really painful. Instead of, this is what I'm feeling in this moment, and that's all there is. There's no added extra meaning to it. I don't have to feel shame or embarrassed about it. I don't need to do anything to try and make anything happen with this person. They don't need to do anything about it. I don't even need to talk to them about it. So there's two obvious aspects to it. The first is disidentifying with the ego mind, and it feels very much like an ego mind. Like ego feels like kind of an inflated sense of struggle, an inflated sense of importance on this, an inflated sense of, ooh, this hurts and this is painful. Yeah, well, that's the childhood wounds coming up that are being triggered to be felt through and healed. Oh, I want this person to show me extra special attention and validate my feelings with some reciprocation. No, that's just, you want to avoid feeling the pain that you're feeling through this healing process. So you actually are trying to create a wedge or a block between you and the healed version of you, instead of just letting it happen. And in this process, I think there's nothing that I could do to stop it from happening, except resist it and create more pain, because it happened anyways. Just identifying with the ego mind, all these thoughts and worries to be concerned, or what do I do? Attaching extra importance to tiny little things. For example, they didn't show me extra attention versus just being friendly to the rest of the coworkers, and therefore I feel hurt because we have this, I feel this special connection with them. That hurt you're feeling is just inside you, it's just coming up and being felt. In essence, it's triggered by the situation, but it's not caused by the situation, because that pain was already present within your body, but now it's being able to be released. All the stories that come up, like, what does this mean? Like, this means that we're destined to be together, and so I'm trying to look for signs that we're going to be together because I'm trying to escape what I'm feeling. or I shouldn't be feeling this, and coming up with all these plans to avoid this person, to avoid any potential scenario where I could get hurt. And that leads me to the second aspect of that, which is a fear of getting hurt. You could call it avoiding any potential of intimacy. So me feeling feelings for this person, an attachment of a meaning to this would be, oh, if I feel feelings for them, I could potentially be in an intimate relationship with them and then get hurt, and that's scary. So I'm going to create all these reasons why I should avoid them, because they're not a good person because they did this. And I just realized all of those reasons have nothing to do with the actual reasons, but all come back to this fear of getting hurt, because if I have deep feelings for someone, that makes me vulnerable, and that feels scary. And I was finally able to be honest with myself that that was the truth of all the thoughts that were looping in my mind for several months. Also, the intensity of the energy that I felt, I've been able to balance it, which helps with just eating healthy, exercise, being able to, if you have work that you can focus on, you just keep doing what you're doing and you let the energy flow through you. And I was planning on giving examples of all the thoughts that I was thinking, but right now in this moment, none of them matter. And I can't even think of the thoughts that I was thinking. But I feel a sense of peace because I have this clarity. I don't have to worry about whether this person is a good person or not, and use that as a reason to justify avoiding them. One thought that did come up is that this person should show me extra attention, show me that they care, because there's obviously some kind of dynamic between us, because I feel it so strongly, therefore they must feel it really strongly too. Regardless of whatever they feel, the actual truth is that they shouldn't show extra special attention to me because we're in the workplace. So they should just be friendly and with everyone and act professionally, which is exactly what they've been doing. That was just another excuse to feel hurt. But that hurt was rooted in a childhood wound, which doesn't reflect badly on the other person. It has nothing to do with them at all. So the truth is they shouldn't show special attention. And now I can let go of that reason to feel hurt. Even if I knew that that was ridiculous, that thought still showed up in my mind, and the feeling of hurt was still there. And that's okay, because that's the pattern that's showing up in those thoughts and those feelings. Those are the patterns that protected me from feeling hurt, or from the possibility of being hurt, the possibility of ending up in a marriage that was deeply unfulfilling and painful and abusive. Because that's what I saw in my life from my role models. And so I had this pattern of everything in me avoiding any potential possibility of a relationship where I could be vulnerable. Now, I don't have to be the bad person to be feeling these feelings for my coworker. They don't have to be the bad person for not reciprocating those feelings in any way, and I can be at peace. If you're going to transcend your old patterns or transcend the ego mind, it can take a lot of repetition where you're dealing with it every single day. It's not something that you can just spontaneously have happen in a moment, usually. It can take a lot of time. Even if you know, oh, this is ridiculous, it's like putting in reps at the gym. To build a certain amount of strength, you have to be consistently doing it. And in the same way you build physical muscle, in essence, there's also a process to building up, knowing the experience of detaching from the stories of the mind that can be very puffed up and inflated in terms of their importance, which can even be, woe is me. Kiri K has a great video on the ego, and I'll link it in the description below.